Coming up on the Elon Phoenix Weekly.
We take a sneak peek at the Elon men's and women's basketball teams.
Get a closer look at men's tennis.
And sit back and learn about one Elon athlete's commitment to service.
All that and more next on the Elon Phoenix Weekly. Good morning and welcome to another edition of the Elon Phoenix Weekly. I'm Kimberly Wisniewski.
And I'm Joe DiRienzo. Thanks for joining us on your ESPN2 local sports break.
Coming up, we're going to preview Elon men's and women's basketball teams. But first, let's take a look at today's trivia. How many Elon players were named to the SoCon preseason all-conference teams for men and women's basketball? The answer to that coming up later.
Basketball season is right around the corner, and the Elon women's team is getting ready for their home opener. Let's take a closer look at their team and the upcoming year and their expectations for the season.
The Elon women's basketball team comes into this season with some big shoes to fill. With the departure of last year's leading scorers, Kelsey Evans and Allie Ford, Coach Charlotte Smith knows those big shoes can be filled with this team.
Moving forward without Allie and Kelsey, it's like you pass the torch. And I think Kelsey Harris, Samantha Kofer, and Zora Stevenson will all do an outstanding job of leading the team this upcoming season. They provided great leadership thus far, and their season, they're veteran players as well. They all have experience out there on the court, and so they've done a great job of leading the younger players.
With the departure of last year's seniors, the team is left with 5 upperclassmen on a very young team. And those upperclassmen know they have to step up to be the leaders now.
We recognize that we've lost some seniors from last year, and our underclassmen are going to be a major part of our team this year. And just knowing that if we can be leaders and help them become adapted to our new system and know the college system even better, then we have a better chance of succeeding this year.
It's all come so fast. I just remember when I was coming in as a freshman, and so I'm taking this year just remembering how the leaders were with me and how the juniors and seniors acted when I came in as a freshman. And so they were very patient, they were very welcoming, and so I'm trying to have all those factors that the upperclassmen had when I was a freshman, and I'm trying to initiate that within our freshmen and our sophomores this year. So just kind of remembering how I was treated and treat those underclassmen the same way.
One of those upperclassmen, Kelsey Harris, has received preseason accolades from the media. Harris was named to the preseason All-Southern Conference team, and her coach knows it was well-deserved.
Kelsey Harris, she's the rock of this team, and she's been one of those types of players that has always been in the shadows. And at the end of every game, we have a grading system, and Kelsey Harris, would most of the time always win out on the grading system. And she does a lot of intangible things that go unrecognized. And so I think, she's always been that rock for this team. She just hasn't gotten the recognition. And I think this year, now that she's a senior, she's now in the spotlight. And I think she's ready to step up and shine.
It means a lot just knowing that other people recognize my hard work, and just knowing that it's my senior year, and it feels good being my last year to get that. And just knowing that it's preseason, nobody's played a game yet. So it might actually put a target on my back for other teams. But just knowing that I still have to go out there and work hard in the games and practice too.
Looking at the schedule, this year, like last year, the team has set up a tough non-conference schedule, playing against big teams such as NC State and Vanderbilt. Junior Sam Kofer knows this schedule will help set them up for Southern Conference play.
I think a tough non-conference schedule definitely helps prepare us for the SoCon. The teams in the SoCon are great competition, so it prepares us to play teams like Vanderbilt, West Virginia, NC State, UNC Wilmington. I think those are all they're reality checks for us, definitely. So we know what we're up against. So it really playing great teams like that can point out your weaknesses and show you what you need to work on. So I think those games are important to have before you go into conference play.
this being the last year playing in the Southern Conference, everyone on the team has the same goal: go out on top.
Definitely to leave the SoCon with a bang. We definitely want to win a SoCon championship. And, you know, we're just going to go out there and grind it out day in and day out and just take it one game at a time and see, you know, where it leads. I think we have the potential to be a really great team, and hopefully that manifests itself into a Southern Conference championship.
Come out and support the Phoenix as they start their season.
Now let's trade locker rooms and head over to the men's side to see what they are looking to do this season.
Each upcoming season is a time of excitement for teams across Elon's campus. But for the men's basketball team, expectations are through the roof as they return the same core group of players from last season.
We dream about being in the Sweet 16, and we talk about that a lot. But another dream of our program is to play in Madison Square Garden, because that is the most storied arena in the world, and it's the biggest stage. And we want to put our program on the biggest stage, and to have an opportunity to play in Madison Square Garden would do wonders for the players in our program and our program as a whole.
And we talk about that all the time. You know, what if, you know, we got to play there, you know, what if this, you know, what if that? But I mean, like I said, it all goes back to how we play and how we do. But to have the chance there is just an amazing opportunity.
That's one of the biggest stages in basketball is Madison Square Garden, and to have that opportunity, and that's something that we want to definitely try and get to. And so we all know it's 2 games out, and that's something we're back of our mind kind of thinking about, but we got to get that one game at a time.
Besides the prospect of playing in Madison Square Garden, the Phoenix face many more tantalizing challenges on their schedule.
This year's probably been our hardest schedule, and you know, it's going to be a challenge regardless. And you know, every team that's on that schedule this year is, you know, a team that, you know, is going to be a challenge for us. And especially when you got teams like Georgetown and Duke in there, you know, those are always big games, and someone that's challenged to beat, and they're, you know, some of the best teams in the league.
It's a great challenging non-conference schedule, and one that I think our team is ready for, excited about, and we will be tested.
To tackle perhaps the most challenging season in program history, the team's leaders are striving to improve their game.
I think the biggest thing that stands out, quite frankly, is that our guys are committed to getting better. We have an experienced group, but I get the sense that they're not happy with where they're at right now. And I've seen an enthusiasm to get better that really goes from, you know, one player all the way down to the last guy on the bench in terms of an enthusiasm and energy and just a willingness to work hard every day to try to improve the program as a whole.
I think so far we've improved on being ready every practice and taking every opportunity that we have to get better and using that to get better. The coaches can kind of almost step back a little bit and let us do some of the coaching and the talking and the leading that we've been able to do some, but it's just another step forward. It's a notch higher in the fact that we have so many veteran guys that know the system.
What makes our team so special is the way they get along with each other. And it started 5 years ago, and then 4 years ago when this senior class, when they were freshmen. And we went through some growing pains, we really did. Some tough nights, some tough practices, some tough weeks and months. But the challenges have really pulled this team together. And what makes this year's team special is that they went through all those challenges together.
Speaking of those seniors, their maturity and guidance have helped shape the identity of this year's team.
Each one of them brings their own unique gifts to the table, and it's just been a tremendous thing as a coach to watch them grow each and every year they've been here. And really what it comes down to now is that those seniors are now capable of providing a leadership that, you know, they had to learn. And they're handing that down to the younger guys. So just seeing that occur is a really special feeling as a coach.
With these young guys that could play important minutes in the season, we are a deep team, so having guys that can be off the court and help and talk and just show guys different ways they can improve different plays and how things can play out, and not necessarily be on the court doing that, off the court, having so many guys that have input, it just helps in an all-around way for every player on the team.
We have guys that have, you know, that really stepped up and played huge roles over these past couple of years, and it's been all in our class. So I mean, having everybody back from that is just going to be, you know, a big help for us.
We want to be in the Sweet 16, So our players understand that, and we don't mind talking about that. In order to achieve that, we are very, very cognizant of the process. And I think as long as we continue to focus on how to get there and what the process is to get there, then we have a great chance to accomplish it.
I mean, that's something you've always wanted to do if you've been watching college basketball since you were a kid. That's a huge goal for any basketball player, is to be able to go to the NCAA tournament and be able to perform in that. So a big step in that is winning the Southern Conference, and that's the only way we're going to get it. And for a school that really hasn't done that in basketball, that's a huge step for us.
It's everything. We've been talking about this. It's been our goal since last March when we lost in the Southern Conference tournament. It's something that we've been thinking about working out, and we're sweating in East Gym over there with no air conditioning in the summer. That's still in the back of our head. It's the goal. It's literally everything. It's what we've been going for 4 years, and it's our last go-around. So we all know that, and it's time this year. It's time.
As a coaching staff, I think we think in perspective, and what I mean by that is we think of the entire university and what it would mean, for this entire community. Having said all that, our job as coaches and players, again, is to get back to basics and to continue to work day in and day out to keep moving it forward.
Aside from the fact that we get along very well, I like the toughness that we're developing. And we often talk in our program about being Elon men and what that means. And an Elon man is faced several times with adversity, and we overcome adversity. And we look challenges directly head on, and we try to answer any challenge that we can. And I really feel like this team understands that they will see adversity and they will face challenges, and they'll answer those challenges like an Elon man would.
The men and women look to start off the basketball season strong. So let's take a look at some of the upcoming games for both teams before taking a commercial break.
Don't go anywhere, because when we return, we go from the hardwood to the hard court and learn about this year's men's tennis team.
What is living the maroon life? It's more than just the hustle and the sweat. It's more than just the pain and the frustration. It's more than just the triumph and the glory. The maroon life is you. Yes, you. You, the athlete, striving to be at your best day in and day out. You, the alumni who have been in the stands supporting Elon for years. You, the fans who stream into games hours before kickoff. And you, the little ones who will be the next generation of Phoenix fans. You are what drives Elon Athletics, and you are the reason we do what we do. There is so much history and tradition behind our maroon. Conference titles, All-American, and national championships. But there is so much history and tradition yet to be made. So join us. Live the maroon life.
An Elon education is about preparing students for a life of global citizenship. Of course, this is a place where you're going to come and earn a degree, but it's also a place that's going to get you to think very deeply about how you're going to use that degree to make the world a better place.
Through their daily pursuit of excellence, Elon student athletes have gained recognition for their achievements both on and off the field.
Building a winning tradition takes hard work and dedication.
Dedication to the Maroon life.
Where success is not only measured by just wins and trophies,
but also by the knowledge we gain.
At Elon, we're more than just athletes.
We're student athletes.
Providing support enables success. Help sustain the winning tradition of Elon Athletics while securing the future of our student athletes for years to come. Now back to the Elon Phoenix Weekly on ESPN2.
The Elon Phoenix Weekly is made possible by the students of the School of Communications in association with the dedicated coaches, athletes, and staff of Elon Athletics.
The men's tennis team has played quite a few matches away from Elon this year, but they finally got the chance to play at home at Elon's Fall Invitational. We sat down with the team to talk about their season so far and how they are gearing up for spring.
The Jimmy Powell Tennis Center was in full swing as Elon hosted its annual Tennis Invitational, welcoming teams from all across the region. After many long weekends spent on the road this fall, it was nice for the Phoenix to return home.
We love having a fall tournament. We normally have it a little bit earlier. Sometimes late in the fall with the leaves and stuff, you want to try to have it where you may not have to worry about those things. But it's great. It gives a chance for some of the people in the community, some of the students, some of the parents to come out and watch. And we always like to try to, do well in our tournament on our home courts.
The Phoenix did exactly that, winning 4 titles, more than any other school. It was clear that Elon players thrived and soaked in the home court advantage.
We always enjoy playing back home. We spend a lot of hours in these courts, so we feel most comfortable in them. And obviously having your friends out here and having a home crowd is enjoyable, and it's quite a nice thing to end off the season that way.
Unlike any other sport, tennis has no off season, no time to rest, no time to heal. Winning in the fall is special, but the fall season means much more than wins and losses. The fall season is a time to learn, improve, and gain experience.
You got to get a lot of matches in. I mean, season doesn't start till mid-January, late January, and so the September and October for some of these guys, especially the young guys, get a lot of matches and develop some confidence. It gives you a chance to work on some things and just trying to get a lot of matches so you can build some confidence, find out kind of where your lineup possibly could be.
The youngest member of the Phoenix squad is lone freshman Chris Humphreys. With no experience at the college level, the fall has given him opportunities to adjust and build chemistry with his teammates.
It's tough, it's good to have like a fall season, like to get you prepared and work on stuff and just, get adjusted to the college tennis level. The team's a lot of fun, they're all really good to be around and they all help me get better on the court.
To some, the fall season may be second fiddle to the spring, but the Elon players understand that if they want to strive to new heights, they must not take the fall for granted.
I think it's detrimental for the spring, to be honest with you. There's only a couple ways you can prepare for tough matches, and it's playing tournaments over and over again, because it's a different scenario. We play practice matches in just practice, and then actually playing tournament, you compete from beginning to end.
The biggest difference is, when you're playing matches, is just being match tough. Being used to on the big point, being able to swing out is something that you can't always, practice for. So playing these matches really prepares you for, the big situations in the spring.
The men's team has finished their fall season, but returned to action at the Jimmy Powell Tennis Center once again this spring. And that brings us to today's history.
On this day in history, we take a look back at Elon College baseball in the late 1980s. At the start of the 1988 season, the Fighting Christians were ranked 5th in the NAIA preseason poll. The team finished with a 26-13 record, highlighted by outfielder Jeff Kipla's 21 home runs, 57 RBIs, and his Triple Crown title. In 1989, Elon College made its way into the NAIA World Series in Kansas City after finishing with a 36-7 record. The team did lose, however, junior Donnie Brown came away with the conference Most Valuable Player award. And this concludes our look back at Elon College athletics.
We have to take another break, but don't go anywhere because when we return, we look at one Elon athlete who excels both on the field and in the community.
As we go to break, take a look at more upcoming Elon athletic events.
An Elon education is about preparing students for a life of global citizenship. Of course, this is a place where you're going to come and earn a degree, but it's also a place that's going to get you to think very deeply about how you're going to use that degree to make the world a better place.
There are currently over 350 Elon student athletes competing in 16 NCAA Division I sports.
Scholarships enable us to succeed not only on the field,
but also in the classroom.
It helps us in achieving our commitment.
To live the maroon life.
Your gifts have the power to take Phoenix athletics to even greater heights while giving student athletes an outstanding education.
Welcome back to the Elon Phoenix Weekly on your ESPN2 local sports break.
Earlier in the show, we asked, how many Elon players were named to the SoCon preseason all-conference teams for men's and women's basketball? The answer, 4. For men's basketball, seniors Jack Eisenbarger, Lucas Troutman, and Riley Beaumont were selected to the team, giving Elon the most players on the team from any school. Senior Kelsey Harris was the representative from the women's team. In addition to having 3 players selected, men's basketball was projected to finish first in the Southern Conference this year, while the women were slated to finish 5th.
Now let's hear from Matt Krause from Elon's radio station, WSOE 89.3, about women's basketball.
It's been an off-season of change for the Elon women's basketball program. Elon has lost scoring threats Allie Ford and Kelsey Evans, leaving a void in the starting lineup. On top of that, key returners Sam Kofer, Jessica Farmer, and Nicole Razor have missed time with injury this preseason. Enter a crop of talented underclassmen. Sophomore Autumn Carter and freshman Lauren Brown, Jennifer Rhodes, and Lynera Ruffin showed their strengths in the Phoenix's exhibition win over Pfeiffer University. Carter had 24 points and Rhodes snared 15 rebounds, showing a glimpse of what is to come for Elon. If the Phoenix expects to contend in the Southern Conference this season, they will need to continue to receive that production. As a reminder, you can catch play-by-play of every Elon women's basketball game on WSOE 89.3 FM for the 2013-2014 season.
Miles Williams has made quite the impact on the football field for the Phoenix, but the junior defensive back goes above and beyond his responsibilities as a student athlete. Let's take a look at how Williams has spent his time off the field, giving back to the community.
Miles Williams is one of the leaders of the Elon football team. On the field or not, his presence is always felt in the program. However, Miles now has another team he's a part of, and that is the All-State American Football Coaches Association Good Works team, one of the most prestigious off-the-field honors in college athletics. Williams was one of the 22 football players honored for their service and off-the-field work.
I mean, it's a blessing and an honor. I'm really excited about the opportunity to go down to New Orleans with that group of guys. If you look at their resumes and things that they've done in the community, I mean, it's amazing.
He deserves it. You know, he's a great kid that comes from a great family background. He's a hard worker. You know, he gets involved in the community. He wants to be a role model, and he's just a solid citizen.
To be committed to do something outside of your academics and outside of football, it really takes time. For him to have that passion to do that is really important. For him to go out and help out and give service to the community is great.
Williams is more than deserving of this honor as he's been involved in the community for years. A few organizations and events he's worked for since arriving at Elon are the Positive Attitude Youth Center, Elon First Baptist Church, and Phoenix Field Day. In the summer of 2012, Williams was a camp counselor for Camp Horizons at the Alamance County YMCA. After the time he spent working with the kids from kindergarten to 5th grade, Williams was named Counselor of the Summer.
Miles is just a great inspiration for them. You know, he's always showed up here ready to have fun, ready to be a part of the children's lives, a great mentor to them, but always had a smile on his face and ready to dive right in. It was great for them to be able to have that one-on-one attention with him, to be able to talk to them about the day, able to talk to Miles about his experiences of when he was once their age and where he is now.
It was probably one of the best experiences I've ever had. It was my first actual job, so it was my first summer job, and it didn't feel like I was a job at all. And it seemed like I really had a big impact on the kids, and they also had an impact on me.
For Williams, community service is more than just giving back. It's a passion of his. He loves the feeling of helping others, and that's what makes him a unique member of the community.
From the initial moment of meeting him during our group interviews, you can already tell that he had just this passion to help others and to be an inspiration to some of the people that he works with.
He always brings positive energy to everything that he does, and it's just a joy to see him interact with the youth around the community. Doing the home visit and talking to Mom and Dad and Miles in the living room, I understood how important community service was to not only him but his family, and so I knew right then and there that he was going to get involved with the community here in Burlington.
When I was deciding where I wanted to go, I knew that a place that I wanted to go needed to have a service component to it. The most gratifying thing to me is being able to see the growth in kids, especially when my passion is for youth. So seeing kids grow from day one to 2 years, 3 years later is a really gratifying experience, and be able to grow together, I think is something that's really probably most impactful for me.
For the defensive back, the two activities have more in common than one would think. Playing football helps him in the community, and the service he does helps him on the field.
The young guys look up to him, and when they see all the positive energy that he's bringing, not only to the football program, but to this great university, the young guys on the football team want to follow, and that's always positive.
He knew he was a leader, and he then was able to help some of his teammates both on the field, but also here, that the staff that he works with as his team. He was kind of able to help bring some of their leadership and some of their attributes out.
With the combination of his experience on the football field and in the community, Miles has emerged as a difference maker in the lives of others.
When Miles got his first start against App State a couple of years ago, to see his vocal skills as a true freshman was remarkable. And that's when I think we all realized that this kid is going to be a great leader, not only on the football field, but obviously in the community.
I think that's what leaders do. They mentor and they teach others how to lead. And that's going to be important, in the society today. We need more leaders. And to have people like Miles out in the community doing that is important.
You can really tell that he had a heart to make children happy, and that's one of the best things that I admire about him. He's destined to do some great things.
Everyone can be great because everyone can serve. Everyone can do a little for somebody else, and that's how we can all be a better community, is by everyone doing a little part for something else. Whether that be giving your time, giving your money, giving your resources to someone else. I feel like that's major.
Well, that's our show for today. If you missed anything or want to watch it again, be sure to check us out on YouTube at youtube.com/Elon Phoenix Weekly.
You can also catch us on Time Warner Cable, channel 1083, to watch us on demand.
Also, be sure to visit elonphoenix.com, your #1 source for all the maroon and gold buzz.
On behalf of our producers and crew here at the show, we hope you continue to have a spectacular weekend.
For the Elon Phoenix Weekly, I'm Kimberly Wisniewski.
And I'm Joe DiRienzo. We'll see you next week.